I here. This is a reading for the sign of Cancer. We're going to do a Celtic cross spread with the Mystic Monday Tarot deck, and what we see on the bottom of the deck is going to represent what you don't see coming. And once we get an idea of what the general message of this reading is going to be, we're going to pull 3 cards from the shadow deck to see what's going on in your subconscious and to see if there are any further clarifications we might need. So let's just see what happens. Okay, so today we are tuning in to the sign of Cancer. So if that is your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, or however else you choose today to identify with the sign of Cancer, you can use that as a way of interpreting the messages that are coming through. And as always, if the details of these messages don't fit, do not try to force them. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And if none of the details are seeming to fit your life or your situation, that's okay. You can always check your other placements, or you can stick around and see what's going on in the world of other Cancers. So what should we think about today? What messages can we receive? Are there things that we should perhaps meditate upon? Things that we should reflect upon? Are there any warnings that we need to see? Things perhaps that we should try to avoid? Things that we should try to perhaps not put our energy into? Or, on the other side of that, are there perhaps positive things that we should try to move towards? Things that might benefit us if we try to put more of our energy into them? Things that might make our life a little happier, a little easier, whatever it is that you're looking for in your life. What messages can we receive today for those who are trying to tap into the energy of the sign of Cancer? Okay, so let's see what we get from our Celtic cross today. The Ace of Pentacles. So either a new or returning opportunity to create something in our life. Perhaps there's some project that you want to engage in, or maybe something you even put on the back burner that you are sort of feeling the call to sort of reconnect with. Perhaps your life has gotten busy, or you've gotten involved in a lot of things that have maybe taken you away from something that you really want to put your time and your energy into. And perhaps you're now going to get an opportunity to be able to reconnect with that. So let's see what crosses it. Look at that, another ace. We have an Ace of Pentacles crossed by an Ace of Wands. So yes, I think there is something that is calling to you, something that you are feeling inspired to start creating or building or working on. And let's get a sense of the energy around this. As I said, I get the vibe that this is probably not necessarily something brand new, but something that you have perhaps disengaged from for whatever reason, and are now feeling the call to reconnect with and start really planting the seeds of building something that you feel passionate about, but don't currently feel connected with. So let's see what else we have here. We have Temperance, the Emperor, the Chariot, Strength, the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay. Some nice color here. Nice sort of shifting between the blue and the sort of oranges and reds and pinks that are coming out here. I definitely get this feeling of something sort of starting to sort of bubble to the surface. Perhaps there's some emotions inside of that Cancerian shell that you have that are wanting to really sort of come out. Maybe there's an egg perhaps trying to hatch here. So as I said, in the present moment, we have the Ace of Pentacles crossed by the Ace of Wands. So there's some new opportunity, some new beginning of something in your world that you are feeling a passionate call to want to create, a calling to move towards, and a desire to really get started on something that as I said, I really feel it's something that you've perhaps put on the back burner or have disengaged with for enough time to where now you're starting to feel the desire to reconnect with this thing. And I think that's further emphasized here by this Temperance card. This card that is, it's almost like the slow cooker. The energy is things are being put into some sort of like cauldron or something, if you want to think in terms of sort of more magical imagery. But something is being some sort of soup is being cooked up here. Some kind of artistic endeavor, I think, is swelling within you, and the ingredients are all sort of coming together. Maybe you've now, I mean, maybe you had something that you wanted to engage with, but perhaps didn't feel like it was the right time, and you maybe needed more experiences in your life. You needed more things to sort of come together. It needed time to sort of develop inside of you. And so I think this thing that you have maybe stepped away from, now you're wanting to reconnect with this again because the experiences of what you've lived through up to this point are now giving you fuel that you can use to actually put your whole heart and energy into this in a way that you would not have been able to had you done this sooner in your life. So I don't know what this is, but something that you want to engage with, something that you want to connect with. You're now feeling this sort of call of the wild to want to start working on this thing. And with the Emperor being the energy that we have in the near future, I think as you start to get back in touch with this calling, this desire to want to connect with this thing, that passion that you feel is going to you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it inside of you. You're going to realize that there's something that you really want to do with your life and your time, whatever that is for you, I don't know, but it's going to energize you and empower you in a way where you're going to start to feel in command in your life in a way that you probably haven't up to this point. I mean, maybe you've felt like you've really got a good control over things, but you don't feel as empowered and as strengthened by this connection. And as you start to work on whatever this new thing is, whatever this new, I mean, it could be a tiny little thing, it could be a gigantic thing. It's going to start small, whatever it is. But you're going to start to use the lessons of the things you've experienced and put them into this project. And as it grows, you're going to start to feel yourself grow and feel empowered. And yeah, that's what I feel how this is going to slowly unfold. It's going to be a small, slow snowballing effect. But even a snowball is not even the right metaphor because you're going to start to feel a sort of almost heat, an empowerment from within you. You're going to start to feel your emotions really start to you're gonna feel a lot more lively, I think, as you get more invested and engaged with whatever this is. And here, underneath everything, we have the Chariot. So this is a card that it can sometimes mean that you're going to be traveling or going somewhere, but it's a card that's represented by or represents the sort of natural flow of energy from your environment, perhaps flowing through you. So again, I get the vibe that whatever this was, the timing was not quite right. You need to either be in the correct headspace, or perhaps you even needed to be surrounded by the right things or people to bring you into the headspace to be able to start to generate the energy you need to be able to engage in whatever this is going to be. So with this Chariot energy underneath everything, I think that together with the Temperance card is the time that was needed to get everything just in the right alignment so that you can start to step into being able to create or engage with whatever this is in a way that is going to be empowered by again, the things you bring to the table that you've experienced now that you hadn't whenever you had first engaged with this thing. So it's time to start sort of getting your hands dirty, start actually engaging with whatever your passion is, whatever your call, if it's creative work, or if it's some sort of business venture that you want to get involved in. But it's time to start really getting engaged in that. But we need to start slow. You know, it's important that just as it's taken enough time to really get to a point where you've wanted to engage with this again, you want to make sure that you don't, thinking in terms of the Chariot, you don't want to hit the gas pedal too quickly and just start driving forward at high speed. That's why we have the Strength card at the top. That is a card of balance, which is also the Temperance is also a card of balance, and the Chariot. These are all cards about balance and making sure everything is in the right alignment when you get something started. And so with the Strength card, as you're feeling this energizing effect of becoming the Emperor, of feeling more in command of what you're working on and what you're engaging with, as you're getting more into that mode, it's really needs to come down to your ability to be able to not get too ahead of yourself. You're going to want to go all in, I think, as you start to get more excited about whatever this is. But you need to pull back and make sure that you're approaching this with a gentle mindset. Like, make sure that you're really paying attention to the details of whatever it is that you're working on. Don't come at it too aggressively. Come at it with a gentleness. The passion that you are having for this is potentially something that could be a little overwhelming. And so you want to make sure that you keep those emotions as well as the actual like care to detail with whatever you're physically building. Keep all of that in some level of check. So as you get excited, don't start rushing because you're excited. Still take the time to make sure you're doing things with um, a certain gentleness. Okay, that's what's important here. There's an amount of gentleness that's going to come from experience too. I think if you had maybe engaged with whatever this was too early, then again that desire to really want to get aggressive and start going all in on this is not something that you would have been as in control of in the past as you are now. But you've grown a lot. You've come a long way from whenever this was first introduced to you. So yeah, that's the advice I can give so far from that first bit of our spread here. So now let's see what's going on along this axis. Here we have the Seven of Cups. And so I'm feeling with the Seven of Cups, perhaps this is why you also have not engaged with whatever this is as recently as when it first was something that was brought into your life. Perhaps you've been sitting in a place in your life recently where you're not sure what direction to go in. You're not sure exactly what it is that you want to be putting your heart and energy into. Maybe you're the kind of person that has a lot of different passions, a lot of different things that excite you, and it's one of those things where maybe you don't commit on any one thing too much because you're committed to so many different things. But again, with this wand here, I think there is a spark that is calling to you. There's something that is going to be saying, okay, this is what you should work on. This is the thing that's going to really be your big project that's going to make you feel like the emperor in your life. And now with some experience and taking some time to really learn about who you are and what you work with, you're going to feel a little bit more certain about which of these seven cups to pick. And the Seven of Cups is really a card about all these different options, and some may look good but don't turn out to be as great as you thought they were once you engage with them. So again, I think this level of patience from the Temperance card and this getting everything in the right mode, whether it's your environment or you, it's all about everything sort of coming into the right balance and knowing who you are and what you're best at allows you to be able to identify which of these things is the right thing to really put your energy into. And then we have here the Knight of Wands, which is a card of, again, this, I feel there's a warning here to be careful about not going too much into Knight of Wands energy. The Knight of Wands, it really is the let's hit the gas pedal and go full speed forward. Let's really just go all in on this project. And that is a good energy in terms of channeling a certain amount of passion with what you do. But also the Knight of Wands kind of just blazes through things. He experiences something and then he moves on quickly, and there's not a lot of room to really savor what's happening here. And I think perhaps that's part of why there's a warning to slow down, because you're going to get really excited once you realize what it is that you want to work on. But and I understand this because it's something I struggle with myself. I tend to want to jump from one project to the other, and I get so invested in things that I tend to not always really enjoy them as thoroughly as I could. And I think slowing down as you move into this energy, this Emperor, Knight of Wands, let's do this kind of energy, the Strength card as well. I mean, look at this is very empowered energy here with the Strength, Emperor, and Knight of Wands. There's a lot of fire right there. That's really going to be good for you to channel into whatever you're going to put your energy into. But we want to slow that down because, again, one thing is savoring that moment, enjoying that experience is going to be more beneficial for you. You're going to have more fun with it. But secondly, you're going to be able to put more of yourself into something if you slow down and really take the time and care to enjoy the growth, the slow building of something. And that's the gentleness that comes with the strength card, is this power that we have with the Emperor and the Knight of Wands, but there's also a tempering of that with a certain amount of gentleness. And I think if you put that into whatever you're doing, that sort of loving care and nurturing energy mixed with that fiery passion of the Knight of Wands and the Emperor, it's going to allow you to build something that feels even stronger. I mean, that's why it's the strength card. If you have that passion mixed with that tenderness, that is what hits that perfect sweet spot that allows you to build something really good. But I think that's going to be a struggle for you. I think as you really decide you want to connect or do this thing, it's going to be something that's going to really pull you back, or it's going to take effort to pull yourself back from that intensity. So that's why I think the challenge is the Nine of Cups. The challenge is enjoying the experience, which, hey, I mean, if you're going to have problems, having the Nine of Cups be the challenge isn't the worst problem you could be experiencing. I would say that what that means is that as you slow down, it may be hard for you to do that slowing down process, but when you do that, like, you're going to keep gaining more and more positive energy from whatever this is as you're savoring those positive experiences. You know, the more you slow down, the more you're going to get out of it, and it's really going to be a much more enriching experience. And I think as you do that, I mean, here, our final card at the top, the Eight of Pentacles. This is a card about putting in the time to really work through the details and making sure that something done is done with care. So to move from an ace to an eight, that means that you're going to take a desire to build something, and you're going to be able to build something very beautiful and detailed, and it, you know, remember to put a certain amount of love into everything that you do. And I know that sounds kind of corny, but it's true. If you put a certain amount of intentional, like, care into what you're building, that shows in the final project. And so again, I feel like there's this challenge of doing this because it's something that's going to be more enjoyable if you slow down and pay attention to those details, but you're also going to build a better product, whatever that means for your situation. I mean, maybe you're literally building something, or maybe just the results of your work will be more powerful if you put this care and attention into it rather than just going all in and just let's make this happen. Okay, so this is very much a message of you're going to feel a great deal of enthusiasm and excitement and passion for what you're creating, but you got to slow down, and you have to really focus that, you know, take it, almost feel it like it's a big ball of, like, fire inside of you that you can then kind of pull into a nice solid sphere that you can get some control of, and then use that as something that you can then sort of dip into and put in that sort of, like, care and attention to detail. Like, imagine writing out something by hand versus, like, taking an inkwell and writing it out in fancy calligraphy. Which one of those is going to be a much more impactful statement? The thing that's written with that nice gentle care of the, you know, the calligraphy writing, of course, is going to be the more intricate and detail-oriented message that will have more impact just in its visual, right? And so take that idea and sort of generalize that care to attention, that slow gentleness. When you tap into that, that's going to allow you to build something really, really good, okay? So again, whatever this is that I feel very strongly that this is something that you have cared about in the past, that you have been sort of detached from, that you are reconnecting with. And as you reconnect, it's going to really fire you up. But remember, if you've waited this long to get involved with it, it's worth being a little slow with it as you get it off the ground if you really want it to be as beautiful and as powerful as you're capable of making it. So, all right, let's see what we don't see coming here. Is the Three of Pentacles. So this is the card of building and expansion in the physical. This is maybe some level of collaboration. Maybe that's the other thing too. Maybe you need to be slow about this because you need to realize that you're not going to be the only one involved in this, whatever this is. And so maybe it's worth taking time to make sure that you're working with the right people, to make sure that as you're pulling other people into this project, that you're making sure that they also have the same vision and that they have the same care, that they have the same passion that you're going to bring to this. Don't bring in people who are just going to get the job done. You know, if this is something you really care about, something that really makes you feel empowered, make sure you slow down and do that with care, and it will be a much better result if you do that. Okay. All right, let's see what the shadow deck has for us now. All right. What is going on in your subconscious, Cancer? I have to say, this is a very, very chill reading, I might say. Very calm. So I hope you're in that same kind of energy. Very relaxing. Again, the message is you're going to feel very passionate and excited to want to do this thing, but slow down, chill, you know, really savor that quiet calmness and let that be a fuel for you. Rather than a hindrance, let the slow softness be something that empowers the message that you're bringing to the table, rather than something that makes you feel like, oh, I just want to get this done. You know, don't approach it like that. If you do, it's going to feel rushed, and other people will feel that as well. So, all right, let's see what we got. All right, from the shadow deck, we see a 10 of spheres, very nice. The star and the 2 of cups. That is beautiful. Okay, so yeah, with the 10 of spheres, that is the 10 of pentacles. That is the card of having so much abundance with something that it's more than one person alone can handle. It's an overflowing of success that has to be shared with other people. So perhaps whatever this is that has got this sort of passionate hook inside of you, perhaps you have a vision for what you could do with this going forward that involves more than just yourself but other people. So there's this, for me, the 3 of Pentacles here is really getting at the collaboration involved with this project. So the expansion in this, I think, is as you start to tap back into this calling that you have, you're going to start wanting to work with other people, and you're going to start, you probably already have some level of a vision of how great this could be, not just for you but all the other people involved. You know, maybe you're building a community, maybe you are trying to form some sort of art collective or something, or some group of people that are going to work on some project. And again, there's a single vision that you share, and your passion and your loving care for this idea is what's going to inspire them to be able to build this into something that's not just a project for you, but for all the people that you sort of either work with and or share this with. And with the star, this is something that's deeply, deeply rooted in you, and like I said, there's this message of you're tapping back into your calling. You know, the wand has called to you, the spark has been lit on the thing that I think has been put away in your mind for so long, and you're reconnecting back with that so that you can sort of understand why you've been on this path for so long, why you've been sort of on hold with whatever this is. As I said, it's something needed to sort of simmer and cook before it was ready, but that star is always there inside of you, and you're tapping back into that. And the tapping back into that is the 2 of cups here. That's the reconnecting with, at an emotional level, this thing that is really it's that little shard of the divine that is inside each one of us. We all have that little spark inside of us, and a great deal of our life is about learning what that spark is and how do we reconnect with it. And you're finally getting that reconnection, and you have this vision for how you can put this into the world. And again, you're going to get so excited once you realize whatever this is for you, but slow down, put your love and care into it, because you've done all of this soul searching to figure out what the hell it is you want to be working on. Now that you know what it is, put all of your energy into it, but don't rush it. Take the time, do it with care, do it with love, and it'll be a fantastic outcome. So let's see what the other side of the shadow deck has for us. Is the King of Cups. This is a card of controlling your emotions. I mean, again, this is all coming back to that same idea of staying in balance with whatever this is. It's going to really spark you, and you need to let that enthusiasm shine through, but don't let it be something that causes you to rush or lose sight of the real quality that you could bring to this project. Let those emotions resonate with you. Feel all of those experiences, but be in control of those experiences and use all of that positive energy as a fuel source to create something really, really beautiful. But don't let it get out of control. Okay, so slow down, enjoy the experience. Whatever this is for you, I think it's going to be something that you're really going to enjoy. And I think it's something that you have always wanted to do, that you've almost maybe felt a little detached from for practical or emotional reasons or whatever has kept you from doing this project or working on this thing. But you're going to start to feel this calling to really snap back into working on this vision that you had, and it's going to be awesome. So I hope that as you reconnect with this and you start putting in the time to really get this off the ground, I hope you really enjoy that experience, because it feels like it's something that you have always wanted to do, and I say, why not start doing it? Take small steps, but start moving in that direction, and you'll feel really good about this. So that's all I have for you today, Cancer. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you have any feedback or comments you would like to share, please leave those down below. Please like and subscribe if you have not already, and if you know anyone that would enjoy this or any of my other videos, please feel free to share them as you see fit. But that's all I have for you today, Cancer. I hope you have a great rest of your day.